Happy morning to one and all. I, Dr. Mallika, Assistant Professor of Computer Science, cordially invite you one and all for this international webinar on India 2030, be a part of blockchain revolution. And it is a celebration activity of National Technology Day organized by our institution, Innovation Council, in association with the Department of Computer Science. Before welcoming everybody, I should give, it is required that I should give a short insight or an abstract of what blockchain technology is, because all streams of students are in this webinar, attending this webinar. Technology is nothing but a decentralized, you can name it as a decentralized finance. Minnanu Pana Parivardhane Seironla, which is called as internet technology, where online money transaction occurs. This particular technology is above that. Internet technology is the blockchain technology. In the meantime, Pana Parivardhanaila, Yanakum, Parivardhana Seiravurkum Nadul or middleman, that is a bank or a corporate. What middleman or an intermediate like banks or corporates? Instead, you need a technology for such transaction. One such technology is blockchain technology, which is likely to have impact on the next few decades. Digital or cryptocurrency, which has recently debated everywhere in our state, the technology behind this is blockchain technology. And not limited to such money transaction, blockchain technology is also widened in areas like supply chain management, healthcare, real estate, media, identity management, voting, and many more. Am I right, Dr. Venkat? Okay.
Perfect.
And talking about the implementation in our states, India, about 50% of the states in India are involved in blockchain technology related initiatives, among which Tamil Nadu has initiated the blockchain technology in agriculture, healthcare, and education in recent years. And Tamil Nadu being the first state to come out with Tamil Nadu safe and ethical artificial intelligence, blockchain, and cyber security policies in the country. Okay. And in fact, the Tamil Nadu e-governance agency TNEGA, we call it as TNEGA, created a platform for this blockchain called Nambikkai Inayam, which means a roughly translate of Tamil is trust link. Nambikkai Inayam. Inayam stands for web link, which can enable the government of Tamil Nadu to establish or create an efficient and fraud resilient system for all the government process, which could reach every citizen. Over naattu prajaigalukkum serakudiya technology idu amayum. So with this short knowledge, very, very shortest knowledge, what I have, I cordially welcome our international speaker, Dr. N. Venkatachalam, Faculty of Information Science, QUT, Australia. A short introduction about him. Dr. Venkat is known to me for years, and he's basically from Tamil Nadu, Dindigul district. And he worked as an ICT program management consultant in America, USA, India, and even in Australia. He even worked for the popular company Infosys for 8 years. Then later, currently he lives in Brisbane, Australia. And he joined Australia QUT PhD in 2015. And in 2020, his research on student assessment ledger with novel use of blockchain technology won 10,000 Australian dollars funding from Australian Council of ICT, Learning and Teaching Academy. So it is so proud to have Dr. Venkat for this, who's going to be the apt person who can deliver insights of blockchain technology, I felt. And Dr. Venkat is currently in 3 distinct roles. In 2022, he's been the Director of Sales for ANZ, Private Accord Global Services Private Limited, Bangalore. And from 2018, he runs his own consulting firm, Kanavugul Private Limited. He provides digital advisory services to small and medium enterprises in ANZ. From 2011, he's also involved in coaching and mentoring the IT information technology students at Queensland University of Technology. We are proud that you are here, and you are the first international expert for the Department of Computer Science. It is a very proud moment. And a hearty welcome to our own principal in charge, Dr. P. Parthiban, members of the Institution Innovation Council, heads of various departments, professors, students of all departments. I welcome Dr. Venkat. The floor is for you now.
Thank you, Dr. Mallika. First of all, I would like to acknowledge my thanks to the Innovation Council for initiative. I think this is very necessary in the current situation where India is on the thrive of a success. From Nama Tamil Nadu, from Sir C.V. Raman days, today's in the Pichai, Nama knowledge is known globally how we capable we are. The question is, are we ready for root cause innovation at all levels? I'm trying to kind of share some. I'll be glad to get all your feedback on this. Without further ado, I will start my presentation. Just a minute. I presume all of you can share my presentation. See it?
Yes,
Yes.
sir, we can see.
Right, excellent. So this is based on. I was in India in April. That time I had few discussions about what blockchain is, where we are in India. Then they told me about the very interesting strategy Indian government has put together. I'll touch upon it later. Once I heard that, I think India is on board with it very well based on what our finance minister has done with the digital rupee initiative, taxing the digital tax in assets, those kind of initiatives in India. I think all of us should be engaged in blockchain. The reason is very simple. Today, we all treat with money, right? So we all have money, we exchange, use money to do whatever we want to do. So blockchain could be the replacement of the way we use money today. So with being the situation, there's a reason for all of us to get engaged. Then I thought probably it would be a good time to talk some of the mates here in this place. Cover what do you mean by blockchain revolution? There's something called evolution. Blockchain as a technology has been evolving very fast. Actually, every day it's changing, but it's come to in a stage that it is ready to cause some serious revolution in countries like India, all developing countries. So I will touch upon it. Why we call move from an evolutionary state of blockchain to a revolution stage. Next bit is what blockchain as a technology offers. um, மல்லிகா சொன்ன மாதிரி இது கிளவுட் மாதிரி ஒரு டெக்னாலஜி. இட்ஸ் அபவ் கிளவுட். கிளவுட்னா நம்ம எல்லாருக்கும் ஃபேஸ்புக் தெரியும், யூடியூப் தெரியும், பட் தட் வி யூஸ். பட் வென் வி யூஸ் தட், the companies collect our data and use it for their purpose. Ana blockchain you can control that. So we will talk about the features which allows you to control what you share in the cloud. That is a differentiating value அப்படின்னு நான் சொல்லுவேன். அதுக்கப்புறம் what blockchain as a utility, it's a technology after all. Is it got value? What kind of ஊர்ல எனர்ஜின்னு சொல்லுவோம், வாட்டர்னு சொல்லுவோம். இதெல்லாம் கவர்மெண்ட்ல இருந்து கொடுக்குறாங்க, நம்ம யூஸ் பண்றோம், we pay பண்றோம் taxes for that. So அதே மாதிரி blockchain has the same potential like electricity or water kind of utility. I will touch upon that, how the technology offers can be converted into utility value. Finally, I'll touch upon the story for India. Wealth. But current பார்த்தீங்கன்னா everybody is about Bitcoin and money making with Bitcoin. That is okay for countries like US where it's capitalistic. As a country like India, for ours, the social wealth is very important. I think blockchain is a great mechanism for towards that. So without further, this is my agenda I'll cover. It'll help if you can come with the questions at the end so that we can flow and complete the PPT on time, then take the questions at the end. Now, blockchain revolution, it's summarized in this one simple thing. Somebody in a remote corner in one of the small villages in India is good at things, very good blouses. She can technically sell it to somebody who's sitting in Australia and US today with blockchain. She doesn't need anybody. She doesn't need a bank. She doesn't need anything. Basically, it's capable of enabling such transaction. அந்த காலத்துல பண்ட மாற்று விலைன்னு சொல்லுவாங்க. நம்ம வீட்டுல நம்மகிட்ட ஒரு வேல்யூ இருக்கு, அதை கொடுத்தோம்னா அடுத்தவங்க அவங்களுக்கு, நம்ம கத்திரிக்காய் கொடுத்தீங்கன்னா அவங்க தேங்காய் கொடுப்பாங்க. பணம் வர்றதுக்கு முன்னாடி அப்படிதான் நடந்துகிட்டு இருந்துச்சு டிரான்சாக்ஷன்ங்கிறது. Blockchain almost goes back to the roots of exchanging values. Basically, I have a value to offer. Can somebody else take and give me a value back? In today's context, value is only in money, but in the long run, money is not the only value creator. Everybody knows a lot of other things create value. So basically, in blockchain, why it's ready for a revolution is this allowing the simplicity of transactions, exchanging value. Now, blockchain பிட்காயினை பத்தி பேசாம இருக்க முடியாது. Bitcoin is the one which made this technology very very popular. um அது அவரோட பேப்பர், I don't know on a Japanese paper wrote about Bitcoin, how it would allow you to transfer money without getting anybody like a bank and other RBI involved. So this is a very foundational change in which money gets exchanged. இப்போ நீங்க நானும் இதாக பண்ணோம்னா ஒருத்தருக்கு கேஷாக கொடுக்கலாம், இல்லாட்டி எவ்ரி திங் த்ரூ த பேங்க் வித் ஆதார் கார்டு அண்ட் எவ்ரி திங் லைக் தட். They tie up everything through the banking transaction. Now, actually, at that point, if you all look at the GFC happened, global financial crisis happened in 2008, US banks were in serious. After that, this technology came into the market. It allowed basically some financial transactions, rupee exchanges to happen between parties. So this is what I call the day one of blockchain in 2008, which is through the mechanism called Bitcoin. Talking about Bitcoin as a mechanism or a currency exchange mechanism instead of banks, etc., etc. இதுதான் அதோட வேல்யூ. ஒரு 5-6 வருஷத்துக்கு அதுக்கு ஒண்ணுமே நடக்கல. nobody knew about Bitcoin, everybody was wondering what's going on, etc., etc. இப்ப பாத்தீங்கன்னா it is about $50,000 in each of the coin is. It's worth a lot of money. If you have a Bitcoin, please, I think you can stop listening to me and do something with that. That will be my suggestion. Basically, I'll be open. எனக்கு பிட்காயின்ல எது I'm not interested in Bitcoin. I don't have any Bitcoins, but the technology is very fascinating for me. As the researchers, I'm looking at the technology capability. அது என்ன பண்ண முடியும், அதை வச்சு பிட்காயினை தவிர வேற என்ன பண்ண முடியும், அதைத்தான் my investigations are all about. That how blockchain as a technology can move forward beyond the current hype on Bitcoin and financial currencies. So that's the summary of why I calling it a revolution. Now, here is the interesting aspect of revolution. So even though Bitcoin started in 2008, today there are about 18,000 different cryptocurrencies as of March 2022. That means நீங்க பிட்காயின் மாதிரி ஒரு ஆப் பண்ணலாம்னு வச்சீங்கன்னா it's going to be a hard fight to get your currency across to somebody, but there's still a lot of people in the marketplace. 18,000 currencies is not too much actually in the global marketplace. You can still pitch for trying to create your own currency if you want. Where my interests or our interests are, India, they already, Nirmala Sitharaman has announced that digital rupee will come into play from next year. So you don't need to have a hard currency, and also there'll be tax for digital assets. These things says India is also getting onto the bandwagon of digital currencies in a different way, in a very, very authentic way, very dependable way, trusted way, through the trusted mechanisms of government, etc. So this is a very foundational change. The Bitcoin evolution is transforming into a country-wide revolutions. It's a classic example of that. Now, like Ms. Mallika said, it is not only in the currency spectrum. Blockchain பார்த்தீங்கன்னா இங்கே எங்கே போனாலும் blockchain இருக்கு. இப்போ வெஸ்டர்ன்ல எல்லாம் நிறைய இடத்துல இருக்கு. இந்தியாலேயே they are adopting blockchain in so many places. This list provides where all you can do blockchain. One of the areas which is really very, very useful will be India பார்த்தீங்கன்னா the real estate transactions. We all know that the real estate transactions go through sometimes very, very difficult. Everybody bought the same property kind of issues. Adalla, with the kind technology called blockchain, you can address it very easily. You know who bought it, who sold it, when did they sell it, did they have the proper documentation to sell it. That verification is very, very simple using blockchain. That's one of the good examples for India. அதே மாதிரி நிறைய இடத்துல பண்ணலாம். எப்பப்ப we need to know that transactions have flown through properly, we can consider blockchain. So this is the simple example. Blockchain for Internet of Things is a very popular area. I don't know how many of you heard about Internet of Things. Smart fridge, smart homes, these are very, very popular, in which you can control, I can control what is going on in my home in India from here through a security camera and see what's going on. So, and the Mari technology is moving very fast. All these are happening through the cloud as internet as a mechanism. அப்படிங்கிறப்ப எப்படி நீங்க உங்க டேட்டாவை ப்ரொடெக்ட் பண்ணுவீங்க? எல்லாம் if you put it through the internet, it's out of your box, you can go anywhere. அதை எப்படி ப்ரொடெக்ட் பண்றது, அதுக்கு blockchain could be a very useful mechanism. This is why there's a lots of interest in blockchain as a technology or as a mechanism can help some of the current issues in the internet. Current internet is excellent. It does allow us to do what we are doing right now. Google மூலமா கனெக்ட் பண்றோம், கான்ஃபரன்ஸ் நடத்துறோம், எல்லாம் பண்றோம். But it is somebody else can also notice all this information, capture the information. Somebody can Google can record it and keep it at their repository. அது தேவையா இல்லையாங்கிற ஒரு பெரிய டிபேட் நடக்குது. இந்த cloud mechanism, blockchain could be a nice in which you can control the information, what is shared to other people. அது இதில் தான் இந்த all these different blockchain identity is very common. Passports is coming in a big way, as well as the government is the one I'm interested. Indian government is doing some very interesting initiatives, and how do we convert that into something useful for everybody? That is my question as such. Now, that's enough of an introduction of why blockchain has moved from an evolution to a revolution. Now, I want to share my understanding of what blockchain is. It's a technology we all know, but do we know what it can do? I am a researcher. I research about blockchain. Basically, this is some researchers what they call today. Blockchain is a foundational technology. It's different from a ERP technology or a client server technology or an app or anything like that. It is very foundational. It has the potential to create new foundations for economic and social systems. This is very true, and a lot of countries significantly change how they provide value to the citizens using this technology. One of the country in the near US has converted all their real estate transactions using blockchain. So in the wherever there's a current problem in the system, they look at blockchain to change the complete system. It's not technology, it becomes a social system at that point of time. And this center bullet touches upon some critical subcomponents, the consensus mechanism, as well as all the people agree what happened in the transaction. Okay, she's sending a jacket worth $50, and another person saying that I agree that I got the jacket, it's worth $50. That agreement is buyer and seller. That's it. Nobody else need to be in that. Is it worth $50, $20, $30? This is if you get a store in between. If you go to the same thing could be sold for $25. The other guy could be selling $75. அதோட கம்பேர் பண்ணா straight sale you can avoid lot of in between price inflation, etc. அதுல blockchain is capable of doing that operation. Is very important point. Finally, it can change companies also fundamentally. These are all the way they describe what blockchain is in the research. So Bitcoin and in all these things, the underlying technology is blockchain. But the most popular definition everybody knows blockchain is this one: a distributed database records or a public ledger of all transactions or digital events that have been executed and shared among participating parties. That is the most important bit. So if 2 or 10 or 100 in this conference, there's 100 people, we all share this information. Only we, 100 people, share this information. Nobody else. That can be ensured by using blockchain as a technology. And it can keep track of the event as well as the record of the event. So this is where the power, it's like any other ledger. A lot of accounting guys, you guys should know ledger, general ledger, etc. In this case, the ledger is maintained digitally. It's in a cloud mechanism where the ledger is not controlled by anybody like a bank or a company. It is controlled by the person who creates the blockchain and manages the blockchain. So in an open-ended blockchains, which is what Bitcoin is, anybody who is using Bitcoin or having a Bitcoin can control that. There's a set of group will manage the consensus mechanism. Whereas in a private blockchains where companies control who can use their blockchain. So there's two types of blockchain. One is private, other one is public. The public ledger is a classic Bitcoin concept, but there's a lot more private ledgers are coming into play. For example, if you take India rupee, if it becomes a digital rupee, the blockchain would be a mechanism in which Indian government allows a very, very permissioned blockchain through which the digital transactions using rupee can be recorded and maintained. That's a very good example in which how blockchain can be used today. Instead of using rupee notes, can you use blockchain? Yes, the answer is yes. Now, this is for the technology folks in this group. These are classic inherent features of blockchain. Blockchain ஒரு எல்லாரும் ரெஃபர் பண்றாங்க. அது என்னென்ன அந்த டெக்னாலஜி இருக்குன்னு பார்த்தீங்கன்னா, these are the six important features of blockchain. One is it's got in-house, it's got the cryptography based encryption of the data storage. So it comes with security. Otherwise, usually people develop data security layers on top of the data, whereas in this case, it is part of the blockchain. Second, the most important I call the privacy. Since we can control what we give it, what we take it out, each one of us can maintain our privacy. And that is not there in today's context in the cloud. So the privacy is one of the key aspects. The blockchain is expected to overtake some of the current cloud transactions. So privacy is two, these two are the most important. The rest of them, because all this is recorded in a public digital channel, anybody can see, validate the transactions that happen. The transparency is there, the reliability is there, and because it's implemented through cloud, the versatility. We all know how many different applications possible in cloud, so there's diversity and versatility is possible. Inherently it's decentralized because it's in a network structure rather than a company or an individual's laptop structure. So these are the six inherent characters of blockchain, which makes us a very unique technology and puts it in the same kind of innovation potential what cloud has done it for us. Basically, with the internet, lot of innovations have taken place even today, but blockchain will allow us to go to another level with innovation because of these characteristics. Now, can you please mute your phone, please? Right. So beyond that, okay, even though blockchain has got all these things in a general, popularly known characteristics, immutability and provenance, once you put something into the blockchain, you cannot change it. Either it changes from the any other ledger. In traditional ledgers, you can put an entry, you can put a negative entry, you can do a lot kinds of adjustment entries, you can cross and delete the entry if you want. Ana blockchain, you cannot. The immutability is one of the key unique feature where once recorded, it cannot be changed. I would say it cannot be changed easily. It can be changed, but basically it is probably very difficult to change. You need a lot of computing power to make it happen. The provenance is the one people are already making or capitalizing blockchains. It's got inbuilt trustfulness, trustworthiness, authenticity of actions, interactions. So this is a very unique feature to blockchain, which makes us, we all can, anybody can innovate with the blockchain. These four characteristics, if you can understand how blockchain does it, that will allow any one of us to take an innovation approach to that. So that's about what blockchain it is, what it offers to you. Now, when blockchain offers these things, what kind of, if you like the energy, like we buy power from Tamil Nadu government or a private places in Australia, etc., etc. That's called utility value. Cloud as a utility. It's got service, other kind of services. Facebook is one service we use, all of us. YouTube, we watch all our videos. Those are utilities out of the cloud as a technology. Now, what kind of utility values blockchain offers? This is something I would say people need to do something with the blockchain to make it happen. Already there, whereas you need to do something with the blockchain to create the utility value. What are the utility values? the trust evoking. Dr. Malika touched upon it. The Nambikai Inayam, trust. The trust evoking feature is inbuilt in blockchain. That's because of the transparency and security and versatility characteristics it has got it. So the feature called smart contracts, the typical blockchain term, people can control and invoke digital trust. So that's the topmost, I would say, utility value blockchain can create for you. Beyond that, the networking, because it's in cloud, it inherently allows for a not 1%, 2% thing. It's always 100,000 millions and billions if you want to. So it enables networking inherently because it's a cloud-based technology. On top of that, it gives very, very transactional advantage. This is something all countries are exploring seriously, like a digital rupee situation. The printing of the rupees and exchanging rupees gets stirred, it goes through counting, all these other unwanted things with the physical currency can go away for digital transactions. So a lot of inefficiencies built into the system when you do with the physical objects. Something like a currency exchange, you don't need it. We all do banking money transfers, Google Pay. I'm sure many of you using Google Pay. You don't money exchanges without you. It's in your bank account, goes somebody else's account. So money can be done electronically today, but blockchain allows another level of protection on that. Finally, that is the bit, the facilitating innovation bit is my interest in blockchain. It allows for all kinds of business innovations because it's easy to do something new with blockchain. Those new processes, new ways of doing things. That will be the one which I hope some of you would start it after this conference within the next few years and create innovations. In India, as the innovation capital in the world, we have a lot of innovations, especially the Takkan platoon I call, Tamil Nadu, Telugu, Andhra as well as Karnataka, lot of very, very smart minds. We can really start by serious innovation using this technology. That's the potential of blockchain, how you can create value. Um, Now, theory, Venkat, have you done anything? Have you done anything at all with blockchain? So this one slide is my exploration, what I did with blockchain. இப்போ நம்ம பார்த்தீங்கன்னா இங்கெல்லாம் we really assess the students using their assessments basically. There'll be 3 assessments in every semester, some individual, some group, based on the way they perform. We give marks to them, and they have authority to question our marks. And then once we all agree that, yeah, this is the mark you get, or this is a change we make, the marks gets locked in, and that becomes their final grade, all the 3 assessment marks. Now, the bigger part mark is just one dimension of the assessment. The second dimension assessment is we look at the skills, solving problems. Is he creatively thinking? Is he communicating okay? அவன் ஒழுங்கா பேசுறானா? Lot of skills we monitor. அதுக்கெல்லாம் we even mark them actually in the assignments. Only thing is, after the assessment is over, those captures are lost in the system. So I put a blockchain based mechanism in which we can capture the assessment level criterion which we assess them on. என்னென்னத்துக்கு மார்க் கொடுத்தோமோ அதை கேப்சர் பண்ணி அதை ஒரு லெஜராக கிரியேட் பண்ணேன். It's through a set of a blockchain mechanism. And that was when I proposed the idea, Australian Council of ICT Deans gave $10,000 to develop a proof of concept. That took us a 1 year. Why I'm saying that is blockchain is a very, very powerful technology, but it is not easy to do something with that. It takes a lot of time and effort, put the different bits together to solve a real world problem. So this one took, I would say, about 7 or 8 students worked across about probably 2 years. And finally, last year, I would say one Japanese student who really cracked the problem for me, and we had a proof of concept done. So it took me almost 3 years to build these different layers using one version of blockchain called Hyperledger Fabric. Hyperledger Fabric is doing blockchain. IBM is the company which offers this mechanism. If any of you are interested in to know more about it, feel free to reach out for me. The Hyperledger Fabric or this application, the proof of concept we developed for students to create their assessment ledger. It is very useful when they go back and apply for the jobs. The employer says, show me what you did the university. Most of us do this assignment and forget it. We might have done a great thing in a year two, and then year four we even don't remember it. This one will allow you a good design outcome which you created in year two can be shown to an employer to show your capabilities. So in net, it could be a good value add for students to get a good employment. This is the one I kind of done a proof of concept. I'm trying to go another level in terms of how we can deploy generally beyond the current, or what I call a proof of concept level. That's my research is about. So I have done some exploration myself. So that's why I wanted to share that with you all. Now, it's not me. This is some of the key people in QUT who work with me in this thing. Professor Glenn Chian, they are big stars in their own research areas. They supported me in some of the ideas and then also gave me the necessary backbone support. Then Dr. Silas Palak Goswami, they are like peers. We all work very closely with the students in terms of taking the students to bring out their best. So this team at QUT, I would say, was a very key. I would say my collaboration team, which made this successful. It's not me alone. It's a team of people at QUT who did that. Now, with all, I mean, we have done enough of this in terms of what blockchain is, what blockchain do, what I have done with the blockchain. But here is the what is it for me? Why am I sitting in this presentation? This is not my slide. It is straight out of an Indian government publication called National Blockchain Strategy. So if I look at it, I always look at anytime people put strategy, I look at what their objectives are. And it's very clear if you look at these 10 objectives, the innovation comes repeatedly in different forms and fashion. I've highlighted some specific bits. Evolving national blockchain infrastructure, that revolution I talked about it. India as a country ready to develop blockchain as a trusted platform and develop a strategy for that. And I know, like Malika said, we have already put in, they have started some blockchain infrastructure. It's like the optical fiber they put for getting internet. Similar infrastructure projects are already on in India, particularly Tamil Nadu. Beyond that, the research and development is what is required to take an idea and convert into a product. So there is enough, I would call, push and the interest from the Indian government, and they have set up the technology or objectives to support the blockchain growth. So I would say the last three are very important. Collaboration with the global companies for innovation, as well as capacity building, skill development, innovation. These are very, very important in terms of how anybody can innovate using this technology, which is, I would say, it's in stage one of development. It'll take another 10 to 20 years where this technology will fully mature, like cloud or ERPs or cloud services, apps. Now we have zillions of apps in all of our mobiles. How many we really use it in a day is probably 10 or 20. So basically, similar way, blockchain will also get there. Only some bits will be used by everybody, not all the bits. Having said that, everybody tries to blockchain. So this is something what India is putting as a blockchain strategy. Now, the question is, there's a lot of people, a lot of students and different audience in this crowd. What can I do with the blockchain? You can try anything you want. I've given some high level examples in which you can use a single purpose global application like a Bitcoin. That's very hard to do, but you can try that. There's nothing hard. If you don't try, you will never make it happen. The other ones are very, very specific. You can do a Coimbatore level, some servicing using blockchain, localized network. Chain.com could be a good example. And then you can today with the blockchain-based technology, a substitution. And that's another Stellar is a good example. And smart contracts by Ethereum that allows you to change a company completely using blockchain. Company transformations could take place. Enterprise level innovation could be happening with Hyperledger, because Hyperledger gives you a lot more controls as a mechanism to implement blockchain. So you can try any of these examples to move forward. Now, the question I would like to conclude this in my presentation side: are we ready to innovate with blockchain? My feel and also general what's happening around the world is yes, we are all ready to innovate, and some of you may or may not agree. So, if you think you're ready to innovate with the blockchain, please explore, read about blockchain, pick one transaction, see what you can do, create some experiments. All these lot of things are freely available for you to test it. Most of things in cloud are free actually, so you can try some experiments as well as what I'm doing. Share us some bit of what you found with your own mates, value to what they are trying to do. Overall, if you do this, whether you do money or not, you will create social wealth. I'm confident about that. But like YouTube, Facebook, they and the Google, they all created the social wealth first. But the resultant is one of the biggest companies for the world because the economical wealth naturally follows the social wealth created by the apps and mechanisms. So I would say try and aim to create social wealth, which is good for India. And if you're lucky, if you do jobs greatly, the economical, financial wealth will follow naturally. But guy Venkat, this is too boring for me. It's too high-fi for me. I'm not interested. Thank you for your time today. I think time is the most valuable today. Once you lose a second, you don't get it back. So thanks for spending time with me today. Have a wonderful day. Enjoy your technology day, guys. That's all. This is my references. I'll stop my presentation and any questions, please.
Sir, good morning, sir. Sir, good morning, sir.
Yeah,
Sir, really, we could enjoy your speech.
sure. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
That too, we are very glad and very happy that we could hear the voice of a particular Tamilian from Australia. That your presentation and that flow and that fluency is so amazing, sir. Really nice. Really,
ரொம்ப
that
thanks,
credit
sir.
goes to Dr.
நன்றி
Maliga.
சார்.
Okay, sir.
Thank you.
We are very
Thank you,
happy.
Mali. Thank
Okay,
you.
sir. That, a small request from you, sir. Uh,
Sure.
that Bitcoin concept is nowadays more popular, not only in the developing countries,
Yeah.
particularly in developed countries.
Yes.
So, give an example. அதாவது ஒரு லேமேன் அண்டர்ஸ்டாண்ட் பண்ற மாதிரி ஒரு பிட்காயின் கான்செப்டை நீங்க
Yeah.
ஒரு டிரான்சாக்ஷனோட எக்ஸ்பிளைன் பண்ணா ஸோ தட் த ஸ்டூடெண்ட் கேன் அண்டர்ஸ்டாண்ட் வெல்.
Okay.
தட் இஸ் மை.
Sure thing. Bitcoin பார்த்தீங்கன்னா Bitcoin has got two dimensions to it. One வந்து the people who created Bitcoin. அவங்க ஒரு 8 பேர் தான் அவங்க சொல்றாங்க. அது யாருக்குமே தெரியாது யார் கிரியேட் பண்ணான்னு. பட் சந்தோஷி நாக்கமோட்டோன்னு அந்த ஆள் ஒரிஜினலா பேப்பர் எழுதுனா கூட அது ஒரு பொய்யான என்டிட்டின்னு சொல்றாங்க. That is, these are what I call the negativities mechanism. It's traded in the markets. Each Bitcoin stock is worth $50,000. The reason why that stock is worth that much is lot of the guys believe eventually all countries will take some form of Bitcoin to do transactions. அவ்வளோதான். இப்போ நீங்கள் ருப்பி யூஸ் பண்ணுறீங்க, நான் இங்கே ஆஸ்திரேலியா டாலர் யூஸ் பண்ணுறேன், யூஎஸில் US dollars, Europe, Euro, and other Great Britain. They have their global currency, all the valuation, lot of grievance. இன்னைக்கு பார்த்தீங்கன்னா நான் இங்கேருந்து பணம் அனுப்புறதுனா மேஜர் காம்ப்ளிகேஷன். ஐ ஹவ் டு கோ டு ஐசிஐ டூ அ டிரான்சாக்ஷன், இட் டேக் 2 days டு கெட் தட். அந்த மாதிரி நிறைய டிலேஸ் இருக்கு. பிட்காயின் சால்வ் சம் ஆஃப் திஸ் ப்ராப்ளம். இங்கேருந்து நான் பணத்தை அனுப்பணும் இந்தியாவுக்குன்னா ஐ கேன் த்ரூ அ பிட்காயின் மெக்கானிசம் ஆல்சோ ஐ கேன் ட்ரான்ஸ்ஃபர் ஈவன் தோ இட்ஸ் நாட் லீகலி ரெக்கக்னைஸ்ட். The mechanism as an alternative mechanism already working for financial exchanges. In a simplest form, நீங்க பணத்தை கொடுக்கறதுக்கு பதிலாக நீங்க பிட்காயின் இன்னைக்கு கொடுக்கலாம். உங்ககிட்ட பிட்காயின் இருந்துச்சுன்னா, இல்லாட்டி கொடுக்க முடியாது. அந்த பிட்காயின் நீங்க வாங்கலாமா? எஸ், நீங்க மார்க்கெட்ல இருந்து வாங்கலாம். அதுக்கு ஒரு ப்ரைஸ் கொடுக்கணும். உங்க அந்த பர்ஸ்ல யூ ஹாவ் டு பை பிட்காயின்ஸ் அண்ட் ஆட் இட் டு தட், ஸோ தட் யாராவது உங்களுக்கு பிட்காயின் பேஸ்ட் ஏதாவது சாமான் கொடுத்தாங்கன்னா நீங்க பிட்காயின்ல பே பண்ணலாம். அதுதான் Bitcoin is today. How to do that? I would say that I think currency exchanges are available in India. Bitcoin is available. So you can go on to Trading Times of India site போனீங்கன்னா அந்த ஃபர்ஸ்ட் financial section மூணு இடத்துல they talk about different currencies, India made currencies as well as Bitcoin. You can trade through them, buy Bitcoin through that. That is the way to use Bitcoin. Sir, was this enough, sir? Because basically it's like a rupee, but it's difficult to get one of that.
ஓகே சார். சார் நவடேஸ் வந்து இப்போ நம்ம ஃபைனான்ஸ் மினிஸ்டர் மிஸ்ஸஸ் நிர்மலா சீதாராமன் சொல்லிட்டு இருக்காங்க, ஈவன் த பிட்காயின் கான்செப்டை வந்து ஈவன் ஷேர் மார்க்கெட் கூட எக்ஸ்டெண்ட் பண்ற ஒரு பாசிபிலிட்டிஸ் இருக்குன்னு சொல்றாங்க. ஆஸ்திரேலியாவில் அந்த மாதிரி கான்செப்ட்ஸ் ஏதாவது இருக்கா, அல்லது வேர்ல்டு வைட்ல அந்த பிட்காயின் கான்செப்டை ஷேர் மார்க்கெட்ல லிங்க் பண்ணியிருக்காங்க?
Sir, இதில் வந்து I want to clarify the important point, sir. Bitcoin வந்து very open-ended mechanism, sir. பழைய பண்ட மாற்றம் நான் வந்து உங்களுக்கு கொடுக்கலாம், நீங்கள் எனக்கு கொடுக்கலாம், அப்படி செட் பண்ணியிருக்காங்க. Whereas கவர்மெண்ட் இவங்கெல்லாம் வந்தாங்கன்னா அதை ஸ்லைட்டாக ப்ரைவேட் சேஞ்ச் பண்ணுறாங்க. ஸோ ஸ்டாக் மார்க்கெட், ஆஸ்திரேலியன் ஸ்டாக் மார்க்கெட்டுங்கிறது ஒரு லைக் பாம்பே ஸ்டாக் மார்க்கெட் நமக்கு தெரியும். அதில் வந்து they can record all the transactions in bit போயிட்டு இருக்காங்க. ஆஸ்திரேலியன் ஸ்டாக் எக்ஸ்சேஞ்சில் ஏற்கனவே they gone that route. They are implementing blockchain to record all the transactions, basically. So yes, in a stock market level, you can use this technology to record all the transactions. இப்போ பார்த்தீங்கன்னா ஆஸ்திரேலியாலாம் யாரும் ஃபிசிக்கல் ஸ்டாக் வச்சுக்கிறது இல்லை, எவ்ரிபடி இஸ் அ டிஜிட்டல் ஸ்டாக்ஸ் தான். ஸோ பேசிக்கலி தட் கேன் பி இனேபிள்ட். கரண்ட்லி த மெக்கானிசம் இஸ் அக்கௌண்டிங், பேங்க்கு, டிமேட் அக்கௌண்ட் அந்த மாதிரி நிறைய வச்சுருக்காங்க. அது இல்லாமல் it could be a better mechanism. Many countries are exploring that. Full implement மாதிரி எனக்கு தெரியல. It is doable. It needs some time.
Thank you, sir.
And personally I'm exploring energy trading. Energy பார்த்தீங்கன்னா இப்போ வந்து சோலார் நீங்கள் கிரியேட் பண்ணீங்கன்னு வச்சுக்கோங்க, உங்கள் ரூஃபில் சோலார் போட்டிங்கன்னா the excess solar you create, you can give it to your neighbor and they can give their access to you. அந்த மாதிரி ஒரு மெக்கானிசம்னா lot of people are exchanging using blockchain. Okay. Any other questions?
Thank you, sir. My name is Dr. Vijay.
Yes, sir.
Sir, I have a small doubt. You have shown a graph. The Bitcoin price is a bit low in 2000, in the starting of 2010, and then it was increased 50,000. What about the future for Bitcoins?
I personally
price will saturate or it will go on increasing?
My personal view is Bitcoin is hype, sir. என்னை பொறுத்த வரைக்கும் there are a lot of what I call the capital markets have a lot of excess money. They take some serious bets. So Bitcoin is one of those serious bets. If you want to take it, you can take it. You may win big or lose big as a coin. But the concept of Bitcoin as a digital currency will be there forever. So Bitcoin is just one type of digital currency. அதுக்கு ஒரு popularity இருக்கு. That's the first innovator. They are the first one in the whole market, and they were flat. Later people realized that the government are not trustable. தெரியும்ல உங்களுக்கு சில கண்ட்ரியில் the whole country has gone down, Greece and some countries, the whole economy, the politician was swindling the money and stuff like that. அந்த மாதிரி country எல்லாத்துலேயும் the people who earned the money, they felt Bitcoin is a better option to store their money rather than their currency. அங்கே தான் Bitcoin started popularizing. The whole globe economy, இப்போ ஸ்ரீலங்காவில் நடந்துகிட்டு இருக்கு, நம்ம எல்லாருக்கும் தெரியும். The currency is going down, everybody is fighting. அந்த மாதிரி சீரியஸாக க்ரஷ் ஆகிறப்ப people have money in the country, they think the currency is becoming worthless, they put in blockchain. ஸோ அதுதான் பிட்காயினில் பண்ணிட்டு இருந்தாங்க. அதை பார்த்ததுக்கப்புறம் தான் நிறைய பிட்காயின் நிறைய வந்துச்சு. I told you about 18,000 currencies available today. It will always be there. Some transaction will be enabled by the local currencies. But Bitcoin அளவுக்கு ஒரு ஹைப் இருப்பாங்கிறது it is not sustainable. அது எக்ஸ்ட்ரீம் ஹைப்.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah.
I am a student of computer science.
Yeah.
First of all, thanks to our department and IIC for awarding such a webinar. And we are proud that for the first time, I am getting a talk from an international expert. Madam said in the beginning about the Tamil Nadu government initiative. Can you please give me an example on the implementation of the blockchain technology in e-governance, which could benefit the end user, that is every citizen?
என்னோட ஃபேவரட் எக்ஸாம்பிள் அதில் பார்த்தீங்கன்னா இந்த ரியல் எஸ்டேட் ரெக்கார்டிங் தான். நம்ம போய் ரெஜிஸ்டர் ஆஃபீஸில் போய் ரெக்கார்ட் பண்ணி எக்ஸ்சேஞ்ச் பண்ணுறோம்ல, தட்ஸ் அ வெரி குட் ஃபிட் ஃபார் பிளாக் செயின். ஒரு கண்ட்ரியில் இன்னும் அனதர் கண்ட்ரி இஸ் ஆல்ரெடி இம்ப்ளிமெண்டட் தட். இந்தியாவில் தமிழ்நாட்டில் நடக்கிற கூஃப் அப் ஆல் ஓவர் இந்தியா, the real estate transaction is a mess. Register office creates such a confusion about so many dispute cases. I personally am involved in one. So adanala that's a very good fit. If you think take blockchain in a government offered service, go into real estate registration, I'll be my first transaction as an example. Makes sense?
Thank you.
And there's a lot
Good
of
morning.
but that's my top one actually.
Good morning, sir. I am Sarin, student of computer science. In
Yes.
identity management, how can be digital signatures in certificates be safe? And will the genuinity of certificates verified? I mean fake certificates.
uh, this is you don't need to do blockchain now. I did not talk about all about blockchain being a very important question, but you don't need blockchain for just to do identity management. Blockchain it offers 7 things: the privacy, security, transparency. Only if you want all the 6 characteristics you should do blockchain. Illatna, you don't need it because it's a lot of overhead. Blockchain is a computing hog. It takes a lot of it'll slow like internet initially ரொம்ப expensive it'll slow and the cost will come down. Right now, if you want to use blockchain for identity management, I would say digital signature doesn't need blockchain. But if you use a digital signature in combination with a secure transaction that you do with somebody across the globe whom you don't know about, then you are engaging in a financial transaction. Blockchain could be an option because your digital signature, the data security, the network security, as well as only you two are dealing with the transaction. So I usually caution people about they want to get on the blockchain, but not all applications are good for blockchain. There is clear என்னோட ஒரு பேப்பர் நான் எழுதியிருக்கேன். These are the 8 conditions you should test. Do you need all the 8 conditions? அப்பதான் நீங்க blockchain போகணும். Does it make sense?
Thank you.
Yes. Any other questions, please?
Sir, as a placement officer of my college, sir, I'm interested to know what are the job opportunities in the blockchain for other team also. Can you explain that?
I think it will take some time to tell you the truth. People are hooked onto the machine learning data analysis right now. That's hot in the marketplace. Now, I'm doing about 5 different projects. I'm helping students with machine learning data analysis. The fundamental problem in most of this, the data is not reliable. A lot of time cleansing the data right now. So even this problem is taking too much money, people will automatically start putting data in the blockchain in a much more cleaner way. So I'm looking at 3 to 5 years on that, Vijay. Right now, the opportunities are less. I try to investigate, can I do a setup to do some blockchain development in India? The knowledge is very limited. Students who are coming out, many of them have no clue what it does, what they can do. So it's a way to go, but it will get there, the same popularity with the digital rupee initiative, Indian government push on blockchain. I would think the next 5 years, it will change significantly. So in terms they can get onto.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
I would like to once again thank Dr. Malika for organizing this. I have done a lot of presentations, but the international Namur College Pune is the first time. Thanks for the really opportunity, Malika. I think it's very, very. I hope everybody had a value from this presentation. I really hope. I enjoyed it quite a bit.
Yes. The technology which is going to be likely to be the next few decades coming up, not only social media or artificial intelligence technology, which is going to be coming up in the next few decades. And I hope the Tamil Nadu e-governance Nambika Inayam has opened up with a lot of job opportunities where the students can check into the website and they can come up with more ideas of all streams of students. And I personally thank Dr. Venkat, because we have planned last year many seminars, but we couldn't make it up because of the COVID outbreak. And thanks to Dr. Venkat for making it up today. And despite his busy schedules and variations in time zones between India and Australia, you have come up with this wonderful blockchain technology. Thank you once again, Dr. Venkat. And